Hey, everybody. Welcome to Game Mess Mornings with me, Jeff Grubb, your host from giantbomb.com. Thank you for tuning in. In this episode, we're going to be talking about what happened at the Game Awards. It's going to be a good one because we have Jon Martin on the show. Jon, how are you doing?
Doing well. How are you doing, Jeff? And
I
your
have clearly died.
yeah,
This is my camera just went black and white this morning, and I did figure out how to fix it, but we all the three of us grew attached to it, so we're just going with it. And in memoriam to me, I guess that's just how it
yeah.
goes sometimes.
You worked really hard yesterday, so it kind of just makes sense that this is the outcome of all that.
It was fun. Yeah, well, as soon as we got done with the Game Awards, then we recorded another podcast, me and Mike, and so yeah, we was working till like 12:30 last night. It was a good time though. I think again, going into the Game Awards with expectations, kind of checked appropriately for how reverent towards the industry it's going to be, and also know that all of the rumors you're hearing, all of them could be wrong. Many of them were. A
Yeah.
lot of the stuff was accurate though, and it was like cool to see stuff like Control, Resonant, and a bunch of other things where it's like, okay, we've been hearing about this for a minute. Now here it is. No Half-Life 3 though. Were you deeply disappointed?
Yeah, because that was one of the ways I could have gotten bingo last night, and instead I had to
Sure.
take 3 shots, so that was not great, not fun. Um,
Yeah. I missed my bingo. We all did apparently. No one got a bingo, but there's my card, everybody. Let's see, kind of. Got a couple that were nearly there. It was yeah, two away in a bunch of different directions. But we had a good time. It was a lot of fun. And then Claire Obscure Expedition 33 cleaned house. It won every category it was in except for one, audio design, where it was beaten by Battlefield 6. I overall I enjoyed myself. How about you?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good Game Awards. It wasn't the most mind-blowing games. A lot of the stuff that was big and talked about, not a lot was there, but what was there got me really excited for 2026. A lot of games kind of coming out of nowhere, things we thought we knew, we didn't actually know. I blacked out. I think they announced a new Mega Man game. That was wild, and I don't know. I mean, we're gonna talk about all these games, but yeah, next year is looking maybe not as busy, but there is a lot to look forward to, even in just the first 6 months of next year.
Yeah, and that's going to be the bulk of the show. We're going to go over what happened at the Game Awards, all the announcements, all the trailers, all that stuff, and however long that takes, it'll take. But yeah, let's get into it. So that means we got to say we're going to explain ourselves. We're Giant Bomb. We're independent video game media out here on our own, but we have you at our backs because many of you have gone to giantbomb.com/join and became premium members. And what that does is it ensures we can keep doing what we do over here. It ensures a future for independent games media. We all have to kind of step up to get more of the stuff that we want, as opposed to the things that get shoved down our throat by corporations because it is the most efficient, makes them the most money. You have an alternative, and you guys know that by showing up to giantbomb.com/join. As far as this show goes, most weekdays, I, Jeff Grubb, will help piece your gaming life back together. That includes breaking news and maybe even some of our own original reporting. For all these topics, I'll get the input of a bona fide expert who will make me look smart. If you are watching live on Twitch, welcome. You can always listen to the show later on podcast feeds by searching for Game S Mornings or find the RSS feed on giantbomb.com. Did I put an extra S in there? I might have done 3 S's. You can also catch the show later with chapters and timestamps on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. All right, we have a lot to get into, so let's start the morning mess with the Game Awards happened. And then before they happened, there was stuff that seemed kind of related. So let's touch on those stories first. South of Midnight is coming to PlayStation 5, Switch 2 in spring 2026. That's something they actually did also announce during the show when they won an award, which is one of my, like, it's a really dumb thing, something that would not happen at any other kind of award show. I like that video games are just blatantly like, we know we're in a commercial. Let's just use our award to also sell more of our game. It's coming to other platforms, but they announced this beforehand. And yeah, that game came out in what, like March, April. So I expect like as soon as the 1 year calendar thing is up, we'll just see it on PlayStation 5 and Switch 2. Any interest in South of Midnight? Did you check it out when it was on Game Pass or whatever?
No, like this year was crazy. It just slipped through the cracks. It definitely seems like a voice I really want to hear. The combat looks crazy. There's like some senile turtle or something that's like pretty much what I can remember. But
Yeah.
I mean, having more places, more opportunities to play it might get me in there. I know a lot of people liked that game, but it just there was too much. There's too much now. I'm still trying to catch up on games, but yeah, this is definitely something I want to check out to kind of form my own opinion on. Did you
Yeah.
play this?
I started it and I didn't get too far into it, but I was like, okay, immediately I kind of see what people are saying that the vibes are really good in terms of establishing a setting that is not typical for video games, the American
Yeah,
South, and doing a good job of representing that. It really does, and it stylizes it in a very fascinating way. Something that I thought was like, okay, this sort of heightens all the cool things about this setting, and then the gameplay, primarily the combat, very sort of I don't want to say like by the numbers. It's PS2, not necessarily in a negative way, but not necessarily in a positive way. It's like it's just from another time, and it's a bit simple. I think is kind of what I was getting from it, but it's probably still worth playing just if you want to have a or play a game that feels different. It will feel different just
yeah,
because of that setting. But that wasn't the only Xbox thing. They also said there's going to be a developer direct showcase in January. Matt Booty talked to Variety and he confirmed this. He says there's going to be a lot of things there, including Playground Games will be involved in the event. And it's notable because Playground Games, we do know they're making Forza Horizon 6, which was confirmed at Tokyo Game Show last year. They're also making Fable. They just
yeah.
showed us some Forza Horizon 6 stuff at Tokyo Game Show a few months ago, like a few weeks ago, maybe a few months ago. And they could be ready to talk about Fable in this thing, or maybe even both. I don't know. It sounds like they're kind of saying that the studio could be busy. But if we don't hear about Fable here, my expectation, John, is we might not even hear about it throughout all of next year either. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, to the credit of Xbox, I honestly do think it will show up next year, but probably targeting that spring 2027 if we don't get it here. I don't know how kind of closely linked the two teams are working on Forza Horizon and Fable. Fable seems like it's going to be way more of an ordeal. Forza Horizon is going to be another one of the most gorgeous, fun, arcadey racer games to play. That's something I can definitely see launching in 2026, but I mean, if they don't have like a big Halo project beyond the remake, Fable would be an excellent way to close that year. Um, it was kind of surprising that we didn't get a tease in that weird janitor commercial kind of deal.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah, good
yeah,
point.
I'm kind of interested to see what it looks like at this point. We got like a couple tastes of it, like a slice of the pie kind of situation, getting the humorous tone of this one, but not really much in the way of gameplay. I think it was at one Xbox showcase, but yeah, I'm much more thinking that Forza is probably a lot more likely and probably a lot further along.
Yeah, that's the feeling I get as well. Forza Horizon 6 continues to be like actually a highly anticipated game for me. I really liked 5.
Yeah.
One of the best sort of I just need to play something right now video games ever made, and it really does facilitate that purpose. All right. Let's get into the Game Awards proper now, although by that I guess I still mean the pre-show. And I believe that's
Sure.
the either well, you know what? Actually, it's going to bounce around. I took this list from, let's see, I think it was IGN or maybe, yeah, it was IGN's list of everything announced. So shout outs to them for collecting all this. And they are kind of putting it in somewhat of an order there, order of importance. So let's start with the biggest one for me. Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic is a single player game from Casey Hudson. Directed by, here's some details. It's directed by Casey Hudson, who was the director of KOTOR and the Mass Effect games. It is a new single player narrative driven action RPG set in the Old Republic era. It's developed by Archanaut Studios. It's a spiritual successor to KOTOR. And yeah, they're working with Lucasfilm Games. Like Lucasfilm Games is publishing this with Archanaut, who is, that is Casey Hudson's new studio. We didn't get like a date or anything like that. There's no time frame here. It's they do say on StarWars.com that it is very early on, that they are still kind of figuring this game out. So we're probably several years away, but they did emphasize, yes, this is a Casey
Yeah.
Hudson game. the person who led Knights of the Old Republic is back and doing this thing. But it's not a direct sequel. Instead, it's spiritually aligned with KOTOR's tradition of cinematic, choice-driven RPGs, but it will be built sort of to live up to that legacy. They did give visions and goals, focus on player agency, narrative depth, and immersive world building, emphasis on creative clarity, team alignment, and ambitious scope. I got like a lot of that could be like word soup, John, like that right there,
Yeah.
like just kind of that. But for some reason, it's like actually those are, I think, pretty good descriptors of what I would want from something that's following up KOTOR. Where are you at with this? Like seeing that, were you excited? Kind of thinking more about what this could be? Are you excited? I think I certainly am. How about you?
Yeah, no, I mean, this was an announcement that, like, it's all in the details. Like, obviously, like, Star Wars has a billion different games, but not a lot have the legacy of KOTOR. Not a lot really have the pedigree that a Casey Hudson actually has. So, as we're going through that trailer, like, there was more and more stuff coming out. This is kind of exactly what I want from a Star Wars game. And, like, granted, the Old Republic is like, you could go hundreds of thousands of years back and you're still technically in there, I think.
Yeah.
So this is the big kind of choice adventure game in Star Wars that I've always really wanted since KOTOR 1 and 2 way back in the day. Their LucasArts is very, or is it Lucasfilm Games? Sorry, I just default to LucasArts.
Look, everyone knows what you mean, and I think God, we all would prefer it to be LucasArts, but yeah, it's
True.
Lucasfilm Games.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that is incredibly exciting, like actually getting something on the par of a Mass Effect, on par with a
Yeah.
KOTOR. Granted, we haven't seen the game yet, but it is checking all the right boxes, and I don't even know where the story could go. It's
I
the
mean,
most exciting outcome.
it's okay. So it's worth pointing out some timeline stuff here. Hudson co-founded Arcanaut Studios in 2025, enabling this
Wow.
collaboration. So this calendar year, he started this studio. So that should tell us a couple things. It is very early on, and if we were to like do the thing we do on a show like this, which is try to draw lines between two events in a way that's way too clean for reality, but if we were to do that, because I want to do that,
Yeah.
Mike pointed out last night that like, hey, maybe this is the kind of thing that happens because Baldur's Gate 3 did so well. And Casey Hudson go,
Yeah.
oh, we have a legacy of doing things like that. And we've worked on Baldur's Gate games. We have many people here who have or worked on games like that. What if we went back to Knights of the Old Republic and did it in that style and did what Knights of the Old Republic originally did, which is take a D&D rule set and apply it to Star Wars to do that again. So I guess what I'm getting at here is if that's the line I'm drawing and I'm placing that in front of you, and we're saying, well, maybe because it's going to be so intricate and a deeper RPG, it doesn't need to be, or they won't have the budget to make it like a big, like Final Fantasy 16. It's all the money in the world is on the screen, sort of graphical style. What if it was like a pared down a little bit, but similar to Baldur's Gate 3? Would that still be something you would be down for?
No, absolutely. Like I mean, I think of like to the outer worlds. Like if we get a small collection of planets that we can explore, have a tight interconnected story, we're forging relationships, and we're just being able to like kid out our Jedi however we want. I mean, that's all you could really ask for. I just want cool, weird characters. I need more Babu Fricks and less Snokes.
Yes, give me all the freaks. I mean, the Knights of the Old Republic games are not canon anymore. So just take all the best parts of those games and, in some areas reimagine them, and in some areas just copy and paste HK47 and give us exactly that again. Like you have a lot of opportunities here to do a lot of fun stuff and kind of keep the best parts of those games. And I hope that you do.
Will Revan reveal himself?
Yeah.
That's the question, because they could make him canon. This is the way you could fit him
Yeah.
in with that timeline.
I mean, it's possible, but also like you said, that's the Old Republic era is so large. If they want to tell
Yeah.
a wholly new story, they can move a few decades, a few hundred years in a different direction, and have a complete clean slate. All right, let's see here. This here says Claire Obscure won Game of the Year and a bunch of other stuff, but it also announced DLC.
Yeah.
They called their shot here a little bit, which I think fair. Everyone knew they were going to win. They did win, but they were on stage all night for all these other awards, And then they did not announce their DLC like the first time they
Yeah.
won. They saved it
Yeah.
for winning Game of the Year, which hey, ballsy. Yeah, I respect it. But yeah, it's out now, right? They released this thing right away. Is that what happened? I can't.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, oh yeah, I kind of heard something might be happening here, but I wasn't sure on the timeline. Uh,
I think it's out. Yeah.
yeah, it's out. Yeah, I'm being gourmaged right now myself, as people can see. So, um, I I'm still playing this. Actually, this is the one I'm really trying to finish before Game of the Year. I'll see how this DLC fits in. Have you heard about this at all? Has anyone played any of this? Like, have you heard any early word on this
On the DLC,
on the DLC?
all
Yeah,
all I know is I'm probably gonna spend like 7 to 8 hours playing it because I'm assuming it's post end game of the original game content. But yeah, like dungeon, new bosses, new enemies, new encounters, new outfits. Outfits is especially interesting because they have a phenomenal wardrobe
yes,
for every single character. I was a little sad that there was no baguette at the actual awards itself, but I did love just like the entire team being dressed up in the mime wear. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of how you do a mic drop at the Game Awards. Like, I have no idea what the fallback plan was going to be if like coders find it and it's like, oh, there's this update that's just ready to go. I wonder what it's for. But yeah, I think it was in a way like everyone kind of expected it to win Game of the Year. It's entirely, justified. That game is phenomenal. And them just adding new free DLC is incredible. I don't remember if Astrobot did the same thing last year. Like if they talked about, hey, we
I think
have
they
more stuff on the way.
I think they did.
So
Yes, yeah, I think they did.
I if they just want to treat us like thank you so much, give us free content for all like goatees in the future, I would 100% be down for that. Give me more reason to return to that game.
Yeah, and they did steal our gimmick of having their baguettes with them all the time, and it's like no, the long bread roll things is
Sure, yeah.
100% giant bomb. That's trademark. Get off our turf.
Well, they
That's
they
that.
copied it
Oh,
from last year, right? Like
exactly. Yes.
absolutely.
Yep. 100%. That statue was Divinity, as we were talking about
Yes.
at one point this week. Not Altered Beast, to everyone's shame and chagrin. Instead, it was
Yes.
Divinity. They showed a trailer for their new game called Divinity, which they've had Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2. There's other Divinity games. Never a game just called Divinity. This feels like an opportunity to go back to that world while also setting up like what feels like a clean slate of like this is a new entry point. They showed the trailer. It was gruesome.
Yeah.
I don't mind that it was violent. It was just like, oh man, that's just a lot of flesh eating, a lot of gore. To start off the show, but like I said, in context, I'm gonna that'll be completely fine. It won't phase me at all. Just in that one context of an award show where everyone's kind of sitting down being fancy was a little weird.
Yeah.
Whatever. No one cares about this. The game itself, though, I'm excited to see them go back to this. This also feels like one where it's probably a ways away, but maybe a
Yeah.
little bit less so because this is a studio, Larian, that always puts their stuff out into early access. So we could be playing it one way or another not too long from now, and I'm looking forward to it. I actually played quite a bit of Original Sin 2 and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I played a lot of Original Sin before I even got my hands on Baldur's Gate 3. It was like kind
Hmm.
of in the hype
Same.
cycle of that. And like granted, this is maybe the squelchiest trailer I've seen for a video game all year. Like it was kind of gross. But I know I'm gonna be there day one regardless. Yeah, I don't know about you. I feel like we kind of could see early access launching in like 2 to 3 years. Maybe we even hear
Yeah.
or see gameplay like not at Summer Games Fest, that feels a little early, but like next year's Game Awards are like next year's Summer Game or 2027 Summer Games Fest. I think Original Sin 2 was like 4 years before like early access of Baldur's Gate 3. So it all they needed to do was show a logo for Larian, and that would have a big enough pop. So it's interesting to see the trajectory they're going in, seeing it get a little bit more weirdly satanic and stuff. Wicker
Yep.
Man.
I would
Yeah.
never stand in their way of doing that. They should go more satanic at every possible opportunity. Capcom finally confirms another thing that I think everyone was like, yeah, it's going to happen. Leon
Yeah.
S. Kennedy will be in Resident Evil Requiem. He's confirmed to be a playable character. And they're doing the thing that I think everyone also assumed. The hunch here was Grace Ashcroft, the other character. I believe that's her name. She's going to be the one that has to sort of like run and is frightened. It is the scarier gameplay, and then when you're in control of Leon S. Kennedy, you're going to be kicking ass. He literally gets a chainsaw and starts chopping up people himself to get revenge for Resident Evil 4. I think this is stuff they've tried in the past, but now they seem to have the chops. Looking at it, this looks very confident, and I think they could really pull this off. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, this seems like it is. They've learned every single lesson they could from Resident Evil 6, and they know how to
Yes.
balance Leon and actually use him in an interesting way. I think we all kind of felt it. Maybe people were uneasy when they were like, well, we couldn't have Leon be scared in like a Resident Evil game. So this is a really good compromise. I'm very curious to see how those paths crossed, if it is a situation where like it's two kind of campaigns or if it is interwoven. If it was like PS1 Resident Evil 2 and it's like, well, there's
Oh,
four
interesting. Yeah.
different playthroughs you could do. Granted, at this point, it's just like, I don't know how many big changes you could make. And I'm going to be happy to play as Leon. I'm going to be happy to play as Grace. That game is just looking to be phenomenal. And it's so early next year, too. It's like, I feel like we don't get a break in between years. It's nuts.
Yeah, I'm kind of like wonder what I would prefer. Would I prefer it to be
Okay.
the PS1 style, pick your campaign, either Leon Kennedy or Grace Ashcroft, or if I would want it to intertwine and kind of bounce back and forth between the characters? I think I would want it to intertwine, but that's
Yeah.
me as someone who's probably going to play the game once. For people who are going to play it over and over again, maybe you do want to select. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, I'm going to be excited about it.
Okay.
Tomb Raider Catalyst was announced for 2027. Tomb Raider 1 reimagining called Legacy of Atlantis. This is a whole new remake that is out next year in 2026. And I thought both these games look pretty good. I think the Tomb Raider 1 remake, the newest remake, looks a little bit better in my opinion. But we'll see more Catalyst later and see how that comes together. I think the biggest thing for me is, yeah, where do you go with Tomb Raider right now? You kind of went the gritty reboot route already for 3 games. You sort of have to go in a different direction, and I'm not surprised that they oscillated back towards, let's kind of go with the original vibes. Let's bring back the dinosaurs. Let's go remake the first game again. Tomb Raider Anniversary came out in like 2007, 8, something like that. Yeah. So God, that was like around 10 years after the first game came out, and now we're much further from that than we are. Either way, like they remade that game, made it modern for that time, but it was still like mostly that game in a lot of ways. I guess really what I'm just saying is this looks like the Resident Evil style reimagining of Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
and then I think they did a decent job of modernizing the character. I think both characters, the one in Catalyst and in Legacy of Atlantis, have a little bit of the AI beautification filter face, but it's worse in Catalyst and not so egregious in Legacy of Atlantis. But either way, you Tomb Raider guy, how'd you feel about these games?
I don't like how Tomb Raider controls in the original games. I did
Yeah.
like. I think it kind of didn't really gel with the third of the reboot trilogy, so I don't think I ever actually finished that. But I mean, I love Tomb Raider as a concept. I love Lara Croft. This seems pretty interesting. It's definitely like you said, yeah, like it's like Resident Evil or Silent Hill. Like we do the remake, kind of establish, hey, we kind of know what we're doing, and then just blow it out of the water with
Yep.
the next original game.
This is the strategy right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and just I'm very excited to more so feel the controls of Legacy of Atlantis. That's going to be a big dictator of, am I going to give Catalyst a shot right off the jump? Am I going to be immediately excited for this, or is it going to be like too much Tomb Raider too fast? Kind of remains to be seen, but I mean, everything that a Legacy of Atlantis showed off seems really cool to me. I wasn't expecting to get as interested in it as I was, so yeah, definitely caught my attention. I love that dinosaurs are back. That
Yep.
was probably the biggest thing to get me to pop off a little bit. Like, oh, I remember that. Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, and the fact that they're proud that like they showed off the dinosaurs, that tells me
Yeah.
something of like, oh, they're going back that to the fun route for Tomb Raider. And not that I didn't think Tomb Raider 2013 or whatever it wasn't fun, but people know what I mean. Yeah, we'll get Legacy of Atlantis in 2026. I'll give it a real chance, and I'm excited. Was never a huge Tomb Raider guy, but I also don't have anything against the games. Control Resonant was announced by Remedy, and that's got a 2026 release. This is a follow-up to Control. I think it's Control 2, although I wouldn't be surprised one day if they did a Control 2 to go back to like Jesse Faden's story.
Yes, yeah.
That's the big headline here. You're not playing as Jesse Faden, you're playing as Dylan, her brother, who instead of using the service weapon that Jesse Faden has, he's got a transforming melee weapon, and it looked much more like a character action game, a stylish
Yeah.
action game, which I thought, like, just glancing at the combat, usually get a pretty good sense of what it's going to be like. I'm often wrong about that too, but I'll say it looked good to me when like what was happening on the screen in terms of the action. How'd you feel about it?
This is definitely one of the best games they showed yesterday. I'm a big Control fan. I granted still need to play through all the Alan Wake 2 stuff to get to this point, but yeah, I mean they had that like misfire break earlier this year, and like I didn't question it for a second that we were going to get a Control 2, an incredible game. Everyone should go out and play it. There's not a lot of games that feel as tight as Control, and
Yeah.
yeah, I like quite literally the sky is the limit. I have no idea how Dylan is getting that high in the air to combo people. The amount of stances he might have, it looks like he has like heavy hammer, he has quick melee. I don't know. This game is going to break my brain, and I'm going to be so happy to have that happen. Very, very excited for this, and it's very soon. I would have assumed that's a 2027 thing, especially after Firebreak.
Yep, that studio just seems to work like they're busy little bees over there, constantly buzzing away, making a ton of stuff. I've stated it on our talk over. I'll re-emphasize it here. I think this is the one that really kind of helps Remedy break out of
Sure.
like with a game that just succeeds on every level, commercially and critically. They've Control I think probably did really well. I think this is going to do much better, and it won't have the sort of anchor around its neck that was Alan Wake 2 not ever launching on Steam. It's still not on Steam. That did seem
Okay,
to negatively hurt that game.
that's good to. So it is coming to Steam. That
It
would be
is because
insanely good to
yes,
hear.
yes. So
Okay,
the Epic published Alan Wake 2. Epic is not involved in any of this stuff. So yes, Control's kind of I think Remedy's publishing it themselves. I think that's right. Okay, let's take a break. There's a lot more to get to from the Game Awards. In fact, when we get back, we'll start hitting some of these other smaller stories at a little bit more of a rapid pace. Although we'll still talk about the big stuff. Don't worry about that. If you want to skip out on the ad we're about to get to, go to giantbomb.com/join, become a premium member. There's ad-free versions of the video show, ad-free versions of the audio show. In the meantime, we will be right back. All right, we're back. It's Game Mess Mornings. Jon Martin, Jeff Grubb. Let's get back into it. Like I said, let's hit some of these stories a little bit faster. We did Control, Returnal successor Saros. Saros? Do you know what the actual appropriate pronunciation is?
not no, I don't know. I don't know the government. I've just been saying Soros.
Yeah, it's government name. Who could say? Saros got a new trailer, got a release date, and by got a release date, I mean a new release date that is a different one that is later than the previous release date. So it looks fantastic. But the game is now coming out April 30th. I think it was previously scheduled for March, right? So
Yeah,
yeah, a little bit, just a tiny bit of a delay there.
yeah.
Either way,
Is it
you're
not
right.
on
That looked pretty good.
420? I thought it was out on 420, but I could be wrong. I
Uh,
don't know.
maybe I got the wrong date written down here. It could be April 20th. Either way, it's out in
I also
April now.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Plenty to get excited about. One of the best PS5 games is Returnal, still like probably in my top 5 to probably top 3 new first party games from Sony. Lot to look forward to, and I didn't really need a story trailer per se, but just seeing more of that game gets me a lot more excited, and reminds me that the first half of this year is just going to be an absolute killer.
Yep, absolutely. Just nonstop. Super Mario Galaxy Movie got 30 seconds of newish footage. Like I think there was some like overlap with the
Yeah.
trailer, but this time Luigi sort of did like a flying knee kick towards Bowser Jr. That was pretty good. That movie's still coming out April 3rd. We got Mega Man Dual Override revealed by Capcom with first gameplay trailer and
Yeah.
2027 launch plans. It's a 2D side scroller returning to the series' origins. And yes, they do plan to release it in 2027, quite a ways off. We do have more about this. In fact, maybe I'll just jump around and get to that here in a second. But you were happy to see this, right?
Yeah, I was very excited to see Mega Man coming back. It has been an entire console generation, like it's 2017 or something, so it's been basically a full decade since a new entry. I'm excited for it. I'm hoping we see more that like differentiates it. More playable characters. I am looking forward to Mega Man like evolving in that sense, but just like having him back is so refreshing to see. Capcom's making him a priority is always good news in my book.
Yep. I was like, okay, this is pretty exciting. We just got that news story that they were going to try to make Mega Man one of their core franchises alongside a bunch of other stuff that already is, like Monster Hunter. It's like, oh man, that means they're gonna go hard on Mega Man. So when they started this build up, I was like,
Yeah.
there's a chance this is Mega Man Legends, sort of like rebooted. There's a chance that this is a whole new sort of style of action game, like a Ratchet and Clank thing that Mike was talking about. But it's a 2D Mega Man game, and I think it looks pretty good. And I bet it'll be better than even the last one, which was, what was that, 11?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited about this. I do think though that they will do more than just this with Mega Man. This is not the entirety of their plans if they're talking about making this a big new core franchise, right?
Yeah, when is X? X is the big question right now because I want to play as X. I want to play as Zero. I want to see where that story continuously goes. There's still stories you could tell there. Um, yeah, like there's the problem with Mega Man is like there are so many different ways you can go, and I don't even know what information they're getting from how those collections are selling. But so like we could get a new Battle Network, we could get another new X. But yeah, like a new sub series, like a 3D sub series that's not really bad like X7 was, would be absolutely cool. The fact that he's back, I'm very excited.
I yeah, we'll look forward to this. I think you're right. They'll want to hit all of that stuff and kind of make sure that there are other ways for people to get in. And that's where maybe they can experiment. It's like, hey, we're going to do Mega. Well, I don't know. People are going to just want a Mega Man X game if they're going to do Mega Man X. So we'll see.
it's
Uh,
it's kind of the problem, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. They would still have space to just use a new name and do something new with Mega Man. But yeah, I think people are still going to want to just the regular X game. Okay, let's see here. Capcom invites fans to design their own Mega Man
Oh yeah.
boss for Dual Overdrive. That is the new Mega Man game. This is from Blair Marnell at GameSpot. As announced at the Game Awards, Mega Man is now officially making his comeback in a new game, Mega Man: A Dual Overdrive. Since the franchise began in 1987, the evil Dr. Wily has been creating robot bosses to challenge Mega Man and keep him from foiling whatever nefarious plans he had. Now it's your turn to design a robot boss for Mega Man to fight in Dual Overdrive. They did this before, right? They did this with like an early Mega Man game.
Yeah, I think it was in Nintendo Power. They were like
Yeah,
getting
Nintendo Power. Yep.
information. I don't remember. I it might have been Aquaman or something from 8 or 9. I forget which Robot Master won out of that, but yeah, they gave us something like weird, like squiggly arm design. I don't know if they're going to incorporate this into the main series, but this is like the best way to bring back the fan and community engagement that Legends 3 was going to have before it was canceled. So I think this is like a really good move to just already earn like the heart and soul of potential fans, but like people who've been around forever feel like they've been mistreated. It's yeah, them showing faith in the franchise and the fans who've been around for like 30 plus years. Yeah, I don't know if we could come up with a communal robot master. Like, what
Well,
type? Yeah.
yeah, listen, yeah, you're right. We should, but Mike Minotti did announce on Game S Decides last night that this is going to be his primary pursuit going forward. That he will
Oh,
be
okay.
designing he wants to own this. No, that doesn't mean everyone else can't challenge him, but he will be focusing all his efforts on this for the foreseeable future. And I wish him luck in getting his robot master in there. He says not to get too cute, right? You can't get too like out there. You want to be something that's kind of cool, but in an unexpected way. So we'll see what he's able to come up with. All right, let's continue here down the rundown. I did Mega Man. Oh my God, there's a lot of stuff left. So let's see here. There we go. Yep. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight release date announced. It's coming May 29th. Continues to look very good. You Lego Batman guy, Lego video game guy?
I'm an Arkham game guy, so like I played them as a kid, like the Lego Batman games as a kid. But I mean, this basically being an Arkham game that goes through the highlights of like the movies and TV shows and stuff. Yeah, this is probably one of my most anticipated games, especially after how good that last Lego Star Wars was. Like, I still can't believe that game was as good as it was.
Really solid. Sean in chat rallying everyone to submit hundreds of Apple band character designs. If it becomes a meme, there is a chance they will select the best Apple man or maybe the worst Apple man. Um,
Yeah.
let's make it happen, everybody.
Oh, that's
Diablo
great.
4 expansion Lord of Hatred revealed adds not one but two new classes, including the Paladin. Blizzard announced Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred added two new classes, Paladin and a mysterious second class. It's out April 28th. The Diablo account on Twitter was retweeted. It's like, due to like many comments, we are adding a sword and board character, and they quote tweeted Mike Minotti from
Ama
2024 saying, Diablo 4 is launching without a sword and board character. I bet the first class is going to be Paladin. And they're like, yeah, we're putting out your Paladin. Here you go, you fucker. That was funny to see. Debut trailer for the Street Fighter movie shows off famous special moves and even the car bonus stage. That movie's out October 16th. It looks hokey as hell in a way that I think is like, well, welcome by me, because I think that this team does not have the chops to do like something dramatic. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Don't try that. Make a hokey fighting movie, kung fu movie, and I'll check it out. What do you think?
Just the whole presentation was just off the rails from the jump.
Yeah.
Everyone coming out there. I have no idea what to expect from this movie. It's going to be very funny seeing a new Mortal Kombat movie and a new Street Fighter movie in the same year, seeing them fight it off. I have no idea what to expect. I don't know if it's going to be good, but like I'm gonna be there day one. I still watch the that's all for Lundgren. The original Street Fighter movie.
Yeah, with
With
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeah.
There you go. Yes. Yeah, it looks true to the games, and doing that in live action is wild. The 50 Cent's forehead is like seared into my brains. It is nightmare just looking at the wrinkles and the styrofoam hair.
Yep. Yes. It's yeah. I think it's going to be a good time at the movies. I doubt it's going to be a good movie, but I won't care. I really won't. Star Wars Galactic Racer announced the second big Star Wars game. A big surprise. From former Burnout and Need for Speed developers. That is, I think, Fuse Games is the name of the studio. It is, not just like a pod racing game. It's a speeder bikes and speeders and all kinds of different swoop bikes. They did show Sebulba at the end, so you can assume that pod racing will be one of the options. And it looked really good. I think it just looks like the follow-up to that entire genre of Wipeout and F-Zero, but with the Star Wars aesthetics, which were really working in this game. I thought it looked impressive.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this game. Episode 1 pod racing is like probably my top 5 most played N64 games. I've bought it on pretty much every platform it's on. I absolutely love that game. Somehow Sebulba returned. That's crazy. Yeah, that Star Wars had a great night last night.
Yeah.
The future is looking brighter.
Right. Yeah. It's like, and if the future of all the rest of the stuff isn't, these games are so disconnected from that while also being like square in the middle of still the kind of Star Wars that people want. Like, give us more episode 1 or, prequel era games like this. I don't know if the racer's necessarily that clearly. Sebulba's older here, but like still it has those aesthetics. And then like Knights of the Old Republic, give us more of that. They did both those things, and none of those are going to hang on anything that happens in Mango and Grongon or whatever the hell that goddamn movie is going to be called. So I think we could probably just enjoy these video games and not have to worry about whatever cinematic Titanic they're going to have happening at their with their next movie. All right, let's see. Phantom Blade Zero has a release date. That's coming out September 9th, 2026. It's a Kung Fu Punk action RPG. Is how it's described here. I think this looked better than ever. It looked great previously, but boy, I think it looked really fantastic in this trailer. I'm adding it to one of the games I'm looking forward to next year.
Oh yeah, awesome. Yeah, no, it's a game that's always looked interesting. Had like I feel like we haven't seen this game in so long, but like getting a really polished trailer on top of a release date is very cool. This is definitely one of the Sony projects that I'm looking forward to the most next year. Looks hot.
Pragmata got release date demo, and is this the one that got delayed? Which one got delayed? Maybe it was Pragmata that got delayed. One of these games got pushed.
Saros got delayed, I think, a couple weeks from
It was
March to
Saros.
April.
Okay. Yeah, it was one of those the April release date ones. Pragmata is coming out April 24th. Gameplay demo is available now. They also confirmed it for the Switch
Which,
2. So it's
yeah,
like, man, that's a lot of good news for Pragmata. A game that when I played it at Summer Game Fest, I came away from it being like, oh, that is one of my most anticipated games of next year. It is very fun. I guess people probably have been trying it by now. I haven't seen any like word on the street about what everyone else is thinking. But I know I'm still looking forward to it. So yeah, what do you think about the latest from Pragmata?
it looks great. It's looked great for a while. I love what you guys have been saying about it. There's a lot of people who are singing his praises. So I downloaded the demo this morning. Haven't played it yet, but yeah, it's easily going to be one of my most anticipated games of next year, and we don't have to wait that long anymore. And now it also doesn't have to hold the Minotti baggage of it secretly being a Mega Man game. So I can enjoy this game for what it is now. It looks really cool. So yeah, I'll try that later today. Yeah, and Switch 2, like RE Engine is very good for that platform. They
Yeah,
have announced so many games for the Switch 2. I think it's like 9 games in like the span of 6 months. It feels
yeah.
like.
And I think Capcom was one of those publishers out there in one of their earnings reports talking about like, yo, Switch 2 is here. We got to get serious about it. And they, to their credit, really have.
Yeah.
All right.
Rob, if I ever hear you say the words pragmata delayed ever again, you're gonna have to catch these hands because I'm gonna hold you personally responsible.
Look,
Yeah.
Mitch, I'm not the one who's like every time they talk about that game, they delayed it, right? Like that was what they would do that in lieu
But
of
that's
anything new.
when they delay it, it's cute. They have a little
It was
hand drawn
cute,
note
right?
from the
That's what
kid.
I'm
When
thinking
you
of.
do it, I'm just like that fucker.
All right, we got to keep going a little bit faster, so I'm going to go through these a little bit quicker. Gang of Dragon is Toshihiro Nagoshi's new game, and it sure looks like Yakuza. Nagoshi,
Yeah.
previously at RGG, started a new studio under, was it NetEase, Nexon? I can never remember. I
I
think
think
it might be
Tencent.
NetEase. Uh,
Oh, I think you're right, actually. I think it is NetEase. And yeah, that whole situation is weird where they're making them front like the whole publishing bill or something.
Right, and like like they weren't gonna like promote the game, but then it showed up at the Game Awards. Maybe Keeley's doing a solid for him or something like that. I
Yeah.
don't know. It looks awesome. Like it looks
Yeah.
like, oh my god, we're gonna have two studios now that make these kinds of games. I like with Japanese talent. That is extremely exciting to me. And I think they kind of crushed it with what they're going for here. Don Lee is the actor for the character model. I've seen him before. I'm not super familiar with his work. I will say
Yeah.
that is a big boy, and it's big boy season in gaming once again, and I love to see it. So we'll see what's
Train
going
to
on with.
Busan, man. He's
Yeah.
a phenomenal actor.
Okay. Oh,
I'm
okay.
very
He's in
excited.
that. I've been meaning to watch that. Okay, so it's time. I'll make it happen.
Hell yeah.
Warlock Dungeons and Dragons is a new single player RPG that leans into expressive magic. It's single player game. Forest 3, which is a follow up to The Forest and Sons of the Forest. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, what'd you think about this one? I was like, oh, this looks more than those previous Forest games. I don't know.
Yeah, the shift from just like legit a forest to like a sci-fi kind of exploration game is so interesting because I always was just thinking, oh, it's that forest cannibal game that I liked playing a couple times, and then another survival game came out and my friends got distracted. But like, yeah, taking it to space is pretty wild. I think that's definitely something to keep your eye on because those games are very fun, but
Yes.
now I have no idea what to expect from this game anymore.
The big last thing of the show. Do you remember what it's called?
Um, so I cheated. I looked at the doc. If you asked me like 10 minutes ago, like Sean asked us before we even went on, completely forgot what that game was. You ride on something? High Guard? Are we talking
Yep.
about High Guard?
We're talking about High Guard, a PvP raid shooter from the creators of Apex Legends and Titanfall. This is out January 26th. That's pretty quick. So you probably imagine what happened here is
Oh,
they're launching this thing and they're going to they're probably have a big budget to like acquire users. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. I am not moved by the trailer I saw, but this is like a lot of things. If it plays really well, maybe it'll win me over. But it just right now it feels like dangerously in the Concord zone.
yeah. I mean, it's also kind of hard because it's like I don't know how much money they paid or if like Jeff was rearranging the show himself. It definitely feels like something happened and they needed to shift the order of games. Like there were so many big games. Like I feel like Control could have been a good ender. Mega Man probably not, but like Mega Man is a great like close-in game, and then you have yeah like a Control or a Star Wars. So it kind of stinks that the expectations of
Yeah,
like
that
this
does
could
not
be
help.
Half-Life 3. Like I mean the Alter Beast fans, they were ready and now they're just gonna rip them to shreds. This yeah,
I'm coming
it
for you.
looks good. Yeah, yeah, they're gonna wise. It's hard, right? Because it looks like it could be fun, but there's like no time before announcement to release. There's no beta to get people actually excited for this. And yeah, it being the last is just like it kind of has the world against it, but so it is, yeah, it is, and it's also hard to compare any game to Titanfall. Like
Yeah.
that is a series of words that or
And when you
letters
do
that
make the comparison, it's like kind of want something that has like a campaign and maybe traditional multiplayer. And this is not that. I don't know. We'll see. I will give it a shot. It's going to be free to play. It's going to be a live service game. It'll be there when I want to turn to it. At least until if it doesn't do well, then it won't be. But whatever. All right.
yeah.
Total War Warhammer 40K announced from Creative Assembly. They've done Total War Warhammer games before. This is the first one they're going to be doing in the sci-fi 40K setting. Yeah, looked really promising. Invincible Versus announced a
Oh
new
yeah.
character. Let's see, that is Tierra Whack, or no, that's the voice actor. Elemental. Oh, Elemental. Right. Yes,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah, I know Elemental. And then For Loop revealed as PlayStation's new sci-fi co-op shooter from Bad Robot and Left 4 Dead designer. This is another one that I was left pretty cold by. It is kind of a Left 4 Dead like. It's PlayStation's publishing it. J.J. Abrams was on stage. The guy from Left 4 Dead was on stage talking about, hey, this is the successor to it. And then the game itself looked pretty generic to me. I don't know. How did you feel?
Um, it, m- did J.J. Abrams not look really like uncomfortable following a Star Wars game with like a roaring applause? Like he looked visibly uncomfortable being there. And then like they're like, yeah, you remember Left 4 Dead? And then like a couple people are like, oh, we got to clap. It was
Right.
it was unfortunate series of events, but yeah, like there was not a lot that did it for me. I honestly didn't think the trailer speaking to us as opposed to showing us what goes on in the game didn't really work. And if they were gonna do like any scripted bits, like I hate these kinds of trailers, but like even the like forced friendship, like we're working together and we're gonna talk you through like what the kind of gameplay loop is, sort of trailers would have hit a little bit better. So yeah, so even though it's like a Left 4 Dead designer, it's like kind of hard to get excited for this because I mean we know what it is, but they didn't really sell us on why that loop is worth coming to them for.
Had myself muted. I think my wireless charging Logitech mouse pad must have died because my mouse just stopped responding and it worked again when I plugged it in. So my induction fuel is broken, everybody. Oh no. I'll have to get that looked at. All right. The next game from the developers of The Ascent is called No Law, and it looks a bit like Cyberpunk 2077. It's like a first person RPG. It looked very cyberpunky. Let's see here. This was a big one. Ace Combat
Yeah.
8 Wings of Thief announced for PC and consoles in first trailer. This is the first Ace Combat game since 7, which was like 2019, 2018, 2019, I think. That was awesome. That was they kind of really pulled it off and it gave it like an air of importance that I was really impressed by. How about you?
Yeah, I'm very excited for this. Having only really played the base campaign when it launched and not really returning to it. Yeah, just picking off where they left up. Um, Ace Combat has always been like kind of Metal Gear in the sky for me. Like just some of the
Yeah.
most absurd storylines going on.
Really good way
I
to put
love.
it.
Yeah, I am always just a big fan of that. It is probably the dogfighting game besides like a Rogue Squadron that I've played the most in my life. I actually I forget what it's called, but like the arcade one that came before Ace Combat 1 that they put on like the eShop or whatever, like the retro game. That game is
Oh,
even then
yeah.
that game is really sick. I'm very excited about this. It got me to buy the Top Gun DLC that I forgot came out for 7. So yeah, this is a game I'm very itching to maybe marathon all of the games in anticipation of this one because it's been so long.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm at least going to go back to some of those PlayStation originals. I
Sure,
don't know
yeah.
if it was like Ace Combat 4, right? That they did up to 4. I don't think I ever played 4, so I'm going to do that. Lenny Kravitz is joining 007 First Light as a villain. That game's
Yeah.
still out March 27th. He's going to be a black market arms dealer. Cool, weird, but I'll take it. I imagine he might be involved in the Bond song, which is maybe why he's in the game, but who knows? Marvel Rivals season 6 trailer confirms Deadpool as next playable character. That was inevitable. Of course, that was always going to be. They were always going to pull the Deadpool lever, right?
Yeah.
The Witness and Braid creator Jonathan Blow announced new 250-hour puzzle game. Why would you put it that way? Order of the Sinking Star. Yeah, I like The Witness. I don't like Braid. I just couldn't click with Braid. I don't like Jonathan Blow, but was curious about this, and now I'm like, okay, that's a relief. I don't want to play this, so I don't have to like deal with Jonathan Blow. But I kind of also had a hard time of understanding necessarily what it was. I'll say visually, it did not have the juice of a Witness. Apparently his artists won't work with it. I don't want to say it that way. I don't know the details, and I don't care. They don't work together anymore. So that was pretty clear here. Any interest in Jonathan Blow games and Witness in this game?
Like kind of like I like the concept of Braid more than I like the execution. And then The Witness was a game that made me feel really stupid in high school, so I haven't gone back, but in a post Blueprints world I probably would find a lot more enjoyment with that. Yeah, it's weird because it does look kind of interconnected, and I think that is somewhat fascinating. But I don't know. It might be I just need to watch someone stream. Like if Soldier Boy streams it or something, like I'll watch him play it or something.
I think that would be the best way to consume it for sure. Like at least the most respectful and deeply understanding of what was going on. And Jonathan Blow would insist us to watch it that way.
Oh, that's his favorite streamer after all. Yeah, his favorite video game guy.
Oh, fuck, that's funny. Lords of the Fallen 2 publisher discusses dismemberment lore and learnings for the sequel. They're making Lords of the Fallen 2. Out of Words is a stunning and unique take on co-op platforming game. This is the other a split fiction like. We didn't even talk about the first one, but we'll talk about that here in a second. Out of Words was I think the stop motion one, like the characters were the puppets or whatever. It had a real strong style, and it is one of these co-op games. 2 people play through the whole thing alongside one another and sometimes doing varying tasks at the same time. It looked really stylish and cool.
Yeah, I just find that art style kind of fascinating. It does have that kind of like a Coraline sort of aesthetic to it. It's not afraid to get like kind of dark with them just removing their mouths altogether. Yeah, no, I'm a sucker for that. I love being able to just play games with friends, like sitting side by side, couch co-op. Yeah, I mean, I'm in for this. I'm probably a little bit more excited for the other one we haven't yet gotten to, but
Same, yes.
yeah.
And did I skip that or is that in here? Let's see. I'm gonna just go Control F. Orbitals. Yeah, I don't see it in here, so IGN missed it. So let's just talk about it. Orbitals. This is 70s, 80s anime style. Also, split fiction. It Takes Two. Joseph Ferris, like of 2 players playing on their Nintendo Switch 2, where this game is being exclusively released. Kind of like doing cool things. Like one player is piloting a neat 80s anime style spaceship, and the other one is using the gun on that spaceship, and you're going through various stuff like that. I don't like who knows if it's going to be as good as the Ferris games have been recently, because like Split Fiction got really good. But I will say the Orbital style won me over hard, and I'm ready to check this out.
Yeah, I mean, you can pretty clearly draw a line from It Takes Two and seeing how they got to Split Fiction. And both of those games are phenomenal, but like both this and Out of World having such vastly different art styles, I think is really good for this style of game. I feel like co-op does need to be a focus going forward, just because it does get a lot more people into gaming. Like the free pass thing is so incredible, and like Lego Voyages was one of the best games I played this year co-op. But yeah, no, talking about this game, it looks like an absolute dream. I am in love with the aesthetic. I think you guys even mentioned it, but it does look like the Journey Daft Punk album, like music video film.
Yes.
And it's incredible. I love those like 70s, 80s like
Interstellar 5555. Yeah.
Exactly.
Or Interstellar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Interstellar.
Yeah, this got one of the biggest pops in my group when we were watching it in person last night. It looks very cool.
Yep,
And
exactly.
yeah. I just don't think it'll be Switch 2 exclusive forever. One
Oh,
of my
no
friends
way.
was really sad, but like I think getting that Nintendo alignment and push is probably really good. Like Hades benefited from that a lot.
Yep.
Like there's a long history of that, but
And
looks
indie games sell best on Switch. It's still
oh yeah.
true. It's it's that and Steam. But Steam just has like a numbers. So Switch has like that audience that is into those kinds of games.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's see. Neo 3 got a new trailer. That game's out February 6th. Man, it's going to be a busy year early. They're going to release a demo on January 29th, so a week before the game comes out. Mario plus Rabbids creator David
Yeah.
Soliani announced a new platforming game called Bradley the Badger. This was another standout for me. It's basically a parody
Conquer
style game.
like.
Yes, a Conquer like not another teen video game is what I would like described it as, where it's like
Hell yeah.
it's parodying a bunch of different kinds of games. Like there's one called Badgerborn to give you an example, where the Badger character goes into a Bloodborne. It's still a platformer, but then there is these other elements from these games in there, and that is the whole point, according to the developers. For like, we want to sort of show our love for games by playing around in their space a little bit and lampooning them. What'd you think of it?
This is at the end of the day, I think this might be my favorite game that I saw yesterday. Just the way that it switching art style, switching gameplay, it being David Soliani, like that's a huge get. I didn't realize he was going to rebound to have a new game already.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope came out like 2 years ago, but no, this is someone that I will follow to the ends of the earth. He is one of the most wholesome men you can kind of point to in the gaming industry right now. So yeah, this being all of these things and more, like we're gonna go into the real world. The Badger is played by Evan Peter. It's just a recipe for John really, really getting down with this kind of game. Everyone loved it. Um, like our Wi-Fi had problems with us all trying to Steam wishlist it, but I don't know. What did you
Yeah.
think?
I'm really impressed by it.
Yeah,
I think it's it looks really good. I think the kinds of parodies it's going for feel very modern. Like, oh no, these are people who are into games right now. It's not like, oh, if you asked Hollywood, make a parody of video games, and it would be
right.
like they would do Mario, but they would do Pac-Man, and they do a bunch of arcade stuff and Atari
Yeah,
stuff, and it's like there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're gonna like have someone who really knows ball come and do this, yeah, it's going to be shit like Bloodborne and The Last of Us, and that's what this game is doing. So, I to me that's just exciting because we know David Soliani knows ball. So let's get that
yeah.
game and see how this goes. Um, all right, Stupid Never Dies is set in a world where monsters are part of everyday life, and you are a lowly zombie, kind of another zombie game. I kind of had a hard time placing exactly how this one played. The
Was
free
this the
shit.
one?
Oh, go ahead.
No, so I just didn't remember if this is the one where you're like vomiting all over the place as like a projectile weapon.
I
That's the
think
only thing that stuck with me.
I think it might be, yes. Yeah, you plays that,
Okay.
yeah, that zombie character, and then there's other zombies you're taking on. I don't really know. The Free Shepherd kicks off the Game Awards. So that was the dog herding sheep game, the sheep herding game. That is out in 2027, but it looked really, really good. I'm a sucker for any sort of physics mechanics game of like, hey, if you move here, you cause another thing to move over that way, and you have to sort of to herd these things. Herdling was a great game. This one is going to be along those lines, and I thought it looked really promising. The Last of Us Uncharted 4 director unveils next project, Coven of the Chickenfoot. This is Bruce Staley's new game from Wildflower Interactive. It doesn't look a lot like an Uncharted or The Last of Us. It's something smaller. Old lady, well, she's a witch. She has chicken feet for legs, and then she's got some creature that follows her around that she needs to kind of take care of. Looks like sort of a platforming puzzle action adventure game, and I thought it looked very least very cute, very different. Dan made the point that I thought I agreed with. We don't get to play as old women in video games very often,
Oh,
and so it's very notable when it happens. And I get excited to play as old women, and I want everyone to know.
okay. Screaming to the the cloud.
Yes, I'm gonna go
Watch
screaming on the
Dogs
street
Legion,
to anyone who'll listen, and those who won't as well.
especially
Um,
the old women on the
Yeah.
street.
Okay, let's see here. Decrepit is a terrifying first-person Souls-like coming to PC in 2026. Let's see. Audio Mech gets
Yeah,
new gameplay trailer. This
big
is
out.
from the Audio Surf people. I love Audio
Yeah,
Surf. The idea is you take your music, put it into this game, and then it looks like a Vampire Survivors with shiny musical notes coming at you as the sort of projectiles. Pretty cool idea. I like that quite a bit.
That's gonna be
Guild War.
fantastic.
Yeah, Guild Wars 2 Visions of Eternity expansion is coming. It got a trailer, and Solasta 2, which I think is pronounced Solasta. That's going into early access March 12th, 2026. It's a turn-based RPG sequel featuring voice talent like Amelia Tyler and Ben Starr, which, of course he's in the game. Of course he is. All right, that's everything I have written down here. Anything we might have missed? Any final thoughts from the Game Awards, John?
No, I mean, for the Game Awards, we kind of covered all of our bases. I think it was a really great showing for Capcom and PlayStation, and I thought it was pretty decent. It's kind of hard to follow what happened last year with so many Titanic announcements, but yeah, no, I think they did a good job. If we're gonna do like a letter grade kind of deal, what do you think you would give it?
Yeah, I would be at a B minus, C plus, probably a B minus though, because it's grading on a curve, knowing what these shows are, understanding that you can only have the announcements that are available to pick from. That means games that are ready, have assets, have companies that have spent the time and money to make these things already. And yeah, I was excited about a lot of stuff that looked good. It was easy to ignore the stuff that didn't. Like nothing like got in the way. Like in some years where it's like, oh my god, we're doing this for so long. There was some
Yeah.
of that stuff, but we have built up a calloused soul against the anime, the nonstop gotcha game commercials or whatever, or the
Yeah.
commercials for the U.S. military, which I don't. Maybe there weren't any, but seemed like there were. Yeah. How about you? Where are you at in terms of letter
Yeah, I
grade?
think I honestly think I am in that B range. It's going to be kind of hard to disappoint me with a new Control and a Mega Man game. Star Wars KOTOR 3, effectively, not
Yep.
not literally, but yeah, no, it was a
Photor.
great group of games. Photor.
That's where we're at.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's going to take
You,
some getting used to.
Yep, it better start now because we're gonna be saying it a lot. Yep,
Here, you go in the street, talk about your grandmas. I'll scream from the rafters. Photor.
it's
That's where
Photor
we're at.
time.
Photor. It's like it's turbo time, and then we run around someone's apartment and like stamp on all their
Uh-huh.
stuff. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, good show. Not mind blowing, but there was potential for more stuff, but for what we got, pretty happy.
Yep, same here. All right, I think what we should do now is actually real quick. Last story. I'll just hit the details here real quick.
Oh
The
yeah,
studio
yeah, yeah.
behind Doom just unionized. This is from Ethan Gotch at Kotaku. The team behind Doom: The Dark Ages is the latest to unionize as a wave of labor organizing continues sweeping across Microsoft-owned game studios. They joined developers across Blizzard, Bethesda, and other Xbox teams in a move aimed at giving them a seat at the table and how things like layoffs are handled at the tech giant. Gotta say, awesome to see this happening the same day as the Game Awards. The developers taking their power where they can. You're not going to get it from the statue you get at the Game Awards. So like that's pretty clear now that doesn't have the sway to like make you now. You can go into office the next day and make demands on behalf of your team. Like no, it's going to have to come from a union. So shout outs to the team over there for making that happen. Yeah, roughly 165 workers at id Software announced on Friday that they had unionized or that they have unionized with the Communication Workers of America. So shout outs to them. All right, let's see here. We have the poll question from yesterday, which actually Sean got posted. Thank you so much. I saw that he was asking people to go vote. And we did ask, hey, what letter grade did you give to the Game Awards yesterday? And I have the results over here. Let me do that real quick. youtube.com/@giantbomb/posts. All right, so let's see here. Give the Game Awards a grade, A, B, C, or D, or lower. I'm going to go with the B that I said, as did 52% of respondents. Then the next most popular grade was C at 25%. 13% gave it an A. 10% gave it a D or lower. That's a healthy bell curve, right? Like, again, he can only control so much. I think that his show is always going to be inherently disappointing to people who want something that's more reverent to the games industry and more respectful to sort of the wider cultural touchstones or cultural hot points that we talk about. He's just incapable of handling those things. What he is capable of doing is putting on commercials, and the commercials were pretty good. So everyone seems pretty happy with B being the most popular. Okay, that is it. No new poll question because it's time to do the Bomb 12 here in a second. Before we get to that, Jon Martin, why don't you tell people where they can find you on the internet, what you have going on, and all that good stuff?
Absolutely. Well, yeah. So you can follow me on Blue Sky at jonathanmartin.com or johnmartin065 or something. That's great. Jman0625 on YouTube. I think they removed the ability to like actually change your handle or something. So something got reverted. I'm looking into
Yeah,
that.
it's
But
weird.
yeah, besides that, kind of just streaming more games before the end of the year, and finishing games before I submit a top 10 or any kind of list of you guys. Should be a good time. Looking forward to it.
Yep, we have some people sending in their list to us right now. I know that we're still going to get some next week, so we'll expect a lot more work soon, Marino and Lexi. We'll get that going. Okay, let's see here. We did that. We should talk about what's happening on Giant Bomb later today. We're doing UPF. Ultimate Chicken Horse sequel, Ultimate Raccoon Sheep.
Oh, heck yeah.
I think that's it. I think that's what we're calling it.
Sheep
And-
raccoon. Ultimate sheep raccoon.
Ultimate Sheep Raccoon. Thank you, Sean. So yeah, we're gonna play that. It's gonna be a good time because I really enjoyed that first game. Always wanted to play more of it. Well, let's just wait for the sequel. Here we are, and we'll be wrapping up the week with that. Okay, I think that means, Sean, it's time for the Bomb 12. That's right. These are the 12 games that really matter to people who are really playing video games. We got our results in from a week where most of the games that are going to come out this year are now out. Like that first week of December really does seem like the finish line for just about everyone. There's, like DLC coming for that Avatar game from last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago. Is coming out the same day that the Avatar movie comes out. Yeah, stuff like that will
Sure,
still
yeah.
happen. But outside of that, most everything else for 2025 is now available to be on the Bomb 12. So let's get to it. Number 12 was Sectori. Number 11, Destiny 2. It seems like that latest update, people are really into it. How Star Wars is it, everybody? Is it something I should check out? I've never played
Oh,
that
damn.
much Destiny 2. Maybe I should. I know it's like fake Star Wars, but that's fine.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, sure.
Number 10, Final Fantasy 14. Number 9, World of Warcraft. Number 8, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. Number 7, The Outer Worlds 2. Number 6, Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Number 5, Arc Raiders. Number 4, Hollow Knight Silk Song. Number 3, Hades 2. Number 2, Demon School. And number 1, Metroid Prime 4. Demon School got pretty close to taking that top spot. But Metroid Prime 4, this is its first real full week. It was number 1 last week, but that was like right as it came out. It splashed to number 1. It was always going to be number 1 for this week. So we'll see how many people are still playing it next week. And I'll be interested to see like the Christmas week Bomb 12, John. I want to see like what everyone returns to from this year. I think there's a chance that's like Silk Song, Hades 2, or Claire Obscure, where everyone's like, I'm going back to this game that everyone's been talking about this whole year, and now I have some time off. Let's try to play that. We will see. All right. This will get updated on giantbomb.com. Here's how it works from now on, everybody. There is below the fold on the front page of giantbomb.com, the new website. Thank you, Chuck. There is a module there that has the Bomb 12. There's a link right there. It's going to say vote now. I will update that after this show each Friday. So you can go and find the new Bomb 12 and vote for next week's game. And we'll get the results and we'll talk about it on each Friday as we always have. In the meantime, I think it's time to get out of here. Jon Martin, thank you so much for hanging out with me today and talking about video games, man. I really appreciate it.
Anytime, Jeff. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you all for watching and listening. You are the best audience in gaming. Until next time, have a good one. Take care of yourself and goodbye. Thanks, Sean.